See, this is the kind of beer when a few days ago it was like 115 degrees. This is what I want, because I am a psychopath.
It's the backpacking beer adventure. Let's get hopping.
Enjoying myself here in Portland, now with Liz. She's replacing Nick.
Things that are worthwhile are not easy, but this is just becoming too difficult.
Maybe a 15-minute walk from Gigantic. Today's the day. Gonna go drink some gigantically delicious beers. Sorry for that. It's one of the last breweries of the trip. And tomorrow's a walking tour, and the day after that, big old beer release party, and then that's a wrap.
We can start outside. Oh, fuck, we don't have that sign fell off. God, fuck. I can swear in this, right?
Yeah, you can say whatever the fuck you want.
Thank God.
All right, yeah, if you want to introduce yourself to the world.
Oh, I start this thing?
Yep.
You're at Gigantic Brewing Company in beautiful Portland, Oregon. You can see it's a beautiful January day. Come on inside.
Let's do it.
Let me tell you the important things about the tap room. Every good tap room needs a firearm, needs an axe, and taxidermy.
Oh yeah, there you go.
It's very basic. This is Jim. Jim just brought some bottles back. We can talk about that later.
We will, in the future.
Nice.
This is our Henry Weinhardt's Memorial Corner.
Okay.
These are crucial cultural things for Gigantic. You know nothing about this, Dave.
You gotta educate me.
So the big brewery in town was the Blitz Weinhardt Brewery. Henry Weinhardt himself was famous for doing amazing things, like one time he tried to run hoses from the brewery all the way down to the Skidmore fountain because he wanted the fountain to flow with beer on the day that it opened. And the reason that they didn't do it, they were worried about the horses drinking out of the fountain. Drunk horses, bad scene.
I guess so.
But would have been cool.
What about one or two drunk horses?
Yeah, in a city of hundreds of horses, one or two is fine. It's not a big deal. This brick was actually at the brewery.
All right.
Some old, amazing Blitz Weinhardt can and a genuine 2-inch brass fitting.
There we go.
This shit is rare. We work with a shit ton of artists at Gigantic, and so the great thing about that is then we get art. This is Danimal.
Hey, Danimal.
I pay the power bill here.
That's true. That's true.
My
It's Anna. Anna's is the better half.
Hey-o.
3/4.
Yep, better 3/4, something like that. Yep. It's your second day at the bar
It's amazing.
in this year, and in 15 months.
I know, it's amazing. It is amazing. It's so good to be
Thank
back.
God, right?
Sense of normalcy.
Thank God. We started doing Employee of the Month, and everyone here is like, when am I going to be Employee of the Month? Pretty basic. Whenever you don't fuck up once for the month. Not like the kettle dipstick, which never fucked up. The forklift. There's any number of things that have gotten Employee of the Month over the years and months. Yeah, so it's probably going to be the van. We started in 2012.
Okay.
But we are old brewers. I have been doing this for a little over a quarter century.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm an old guy. I started at a little brewery called Minnesota Brewing Company. We made a beer that no one's heard about called Pete's Wicked Ale.
Gotcha.
We were making about 400,000 barrels a year of that when I was there. And then I was a rock bottom brewer for 16 years.
16 years.
Yeah.
Damn. Where at?
Minnesota, Maryland, Portland. Oregon's always had a real collegial brewing community. There's none of that I won't tell you anything kind of stuff around here.
You share ideas, share recipes. High tide raises all ships.
Oh, Jesus. Share hops, share malt, you name it. Pretty much everyone around here will go out of their way to help everybody else out.
That's how it should be.
I mean, you got to understand that something like 70% of all draft beer consumed in Portland is craft, locally made craft.
That's goddamn impressive.
Nobody here talks about craft beer. No one does. It's beer.
Yeah.
It's just beer here.
That's beautiful. I wish
It's
it was like
great.
that everywhere.
Yeah. So the brew house, this side of things, has always looked like this. It has never changed. 15-barrel system made locally. When we started, we had two of these big 45s and one little 15.
Okay.
We now have 6 45s and 2 15s. We can make about 5,000 barrels of beer a year.
How far does your beer travel?
We've sent beer all over the place. We are regularly distributed in Japan. The vast majority of the beer is in Oregon and Washington, California.
That's great to know it goes far and wide. You could be in Japan, pick up some of your own beer,
Oh,
just knowing other people are drinking
You
it.
could go to this bar right here, Hot Toast Bar.
Yeah?
I guarantee you 365 days out of the year, Gigantic is on tap.
Hell yeah.
You've been to a bunch of breweries, right?
Many, many.
Okay.
Over 1,000.
Name all the tanks.
You got your mash tun, hot
Yep,
liquor tank,
We'll point out which one.
brew kettle,
Yep.
hot liquor tank over here. There.
Hot liquor tank.
There we
Right,
go.
the big tall one.
Yep.
It's always the hot liquor tank.
Yep.
Kettle.
Kettle.
Mash tun.
Mash tun.
What's that?
Another mash tun? Or a water tank? What are you doing here?
What's in there? Kenny,
in the
what's in
mash
there?
There's a,
What are those?
you got hops and grain in there.
Nope, just hops.
That's hops. It looks like grain in there. Or are those little seeds?
Those are seeds.
Okay.
Those are seeds. We made Kolsch today, so that's all Mountain Hood. Mountain Hood's a Hollertown middle fruit triploid. Everyone's going to tell you it's seedless. That's bullshit. It's just that the seeds won't do anything.
Okay, I'm not used to seeing that many seeds, I guess. All right.
Yeah, well, it's whole leaf hops. A. B, Oregon hops. Oregon always has more seed than everywhere else.
Do you usually use whole cone or is it mostly pellet?
Everything in the brew house is whole cone,
Really?
which is why we have this tank. It's full-size hop back, so all the hops go, not all the hops. You put hops in the kettle, you transfer the entire kettle load into the hop back.
Gotcha.
You actually 4-loaf it like a mash tun. That creates a bed. You can see the bed there.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. That filters out, obviously, the hops themselves and then also any protein. You can see there's protein.
Does it press them in any way to like get all the... No?
Doesn't need to. They've been like floating this much. The wort level's up to here,
Yeah.
right? So they're just kind of floating around and they eventually fall and then you can run out of it and filter it.
Gotcha.
But for a brewery our size, we mainly put this in because we're close to Yakima and we're close to the valley.
Yeah.
And so this allows us to get really good hop selection. If you're choosing hops in the whole bale, it's really easy to go into a farmer and be like, that smells great. Can I buy 2 of those bales? They're like, yeah, sure, here you go. So
Great.
there you go. And Scott Guckle,
Hey-oh.
everyone. Scott's the guy. How many years have you been doing this? 23? 20?
Yeah, 99 is when I got a job in a brewery.
There you go, 22.
Nice.
We're old. We're a bunch of old guys. Yeah.
Experienced.
What's that? Well, yeah, very, very wise. This is a tank that Fish Brewing up in Olympia has one, but I think they got rid of it.
Yeah.
There's almost none of these left.
Really?
Yeah. We literally built the brewery around that tank.
So this is from the beginning. This guy here.
From the beginning, because we always wanted to work with whole hops. I'd been brewing with whole hops for a little over a decade before this.
Yeah.
The world was a little bit different in terms of beer and breweries and whatnot. And the thing about this system is it takes all the protein out. Any of the hot break comes out from this. So it really helps with your downstream clarity, which was, a thing 10 years ago.
Yeah. And now it's all hazies. Not all.
Yeah, but we make Kolsch all the time, and our Kolsch is fucking brilliant. And it starts, all clarity starts in the mill room, and you have to do everything right going forward. Right? So, you plan for it.
Yeah.
So,
Seems like you know what you're doing.
I should fucking hope so. Dirtiest part of the tank's the top of the tank where the corrosion is. The door up there allows you to see it really easily. Almost everyone's doors are down here, right? If you have to clean the thing, you have to stick your head in and there's a bunch of CO2 coming down.
Yeah.
That's not good for you. If you have to spray anything, shit's coming down on you.
Yeah.
We just stand above it. We use this twice a week. This is officially called MixBot. It's like a robot that mixes shit. We still use isinglass
Yeah.
because it works better than everything else that we want to get clear.
Isinglass?
Yeah.
I haven't heard of that before.
You haven't?
No.
My God, you're a child. Isinglass is the acidified swim bladders of certain subtropical fish. They're trying to drop out any excess yeast. We don't want like a lot of yeast in the beers. This thing is a tank that you can put a stone in, you can deaerate water, you can run it through this pump. There's a shear mixer here. It'll shear your isinglass part and gelatinize it, and you can recirculate the tank with the same pump and then add your isinglass in as it goes. Turns the whole tank. Mixes it all in. You want to make a goza. You want to get your salt proportion right. You're not sure how much salt to use.
Yeah.
Salt water in here. Start mixing the tank. Bleed it in. Bleed it to taste. Oh, that's what we want. Coffee. Put it in here. Bleed it to taste. Doesn't give a shit. Mixbot doesn't fucking care. Mixbot mixes.
Good work, Mixbot.
That is all Mixbot does. Mixbot mixes. We're like one of a couple breweries in Oregon still in bottles.
Do you can at all or just bottles?
Fuck no. No. Refillable bottles.
Purely recyclable.
Better than recyclable. Refillable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're reusing the same bottle over and over and over again, right? So these are built to a standard. We should be able to get like 28 runs out of them.
Really?
You know, we believe in bottles for many reasons. I think the fill quality is better on a bottle, unless you have a really, really nice canning line.
Yeah, the fill quality? What do you mean? Like what part?
The amount of oxygen that gets into the beer.
Okay.
We're able to get really low oxygen pickup in a small bottling line.
That's interesting, because the argument with the cans is that it keeps oxygen out, but if you're able to not get it in there in the first place, it sounds pretty good.
Ready for me to piss a bunch of people off?
Yes.
If your can is so amazing at keeping oxygen out, why is everyone out there saying they have to have their beer consumed in 2 weeks?
Because they're getting oxygen in there in the beginning?
Yep, you sealed it in.
Yeah.
Good job.
Fair enough.
If your beer tastes like shit after 2 weeks, it's not the package, it's you. You're doing a bad job. What they're claiming is that air comes in through the seal here. And they're right.
Yeah.
Over like a year.
Right. So just do it right the first time.
Do it right the
don't worry
first
about
time.
it. Yeah.
It's fine.
All right.
Right.
I like that argument.
So, I'm an old guy. This is an inline carbonator. There are many inline carbonators out there. What's cool about this one is we actually move beer still into the bright tank. We just have one bright tank. And so the beer is totally uncarbonated. It comes through here, it gets carbonated in this cylinder as it goes through. And the beauty of that is we actually have separate carbonation levels for a kegged beer and for a bottled beer.
Right.
We actually, and from the same tank. Right? We just do all the kegging first.
Okay.
And then you go beep, 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 beep. You don't have to make the noise, it does it itself.
Nice.
And then change the carbonation level and raise it a little bit for bottled beer.
Okay.
Which is pretty
handy.
damn sweet.
Yeah.
I met this guy in like 1998, and he was the packaging manager at Latrobe Brewing Company.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Out east, yeah.
Yeah, old Latrobe, right? And he was getting off his shift, and the brewmaster was in the Rathskeller, old German guy. And he says, Phil, come over, have a beer with me. And you know, no traditional brewery like that, if the brewmaster says anything to you, you're just like, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I will
That's the way
have
it
that
is,
beer.
right? I worked for a guy like that in my first job. And so he says, sit down. And he says, so Phil, do you know how long it takes us to mill in a batch of Latrobe 33? Yes, sir, I do. It takes 25 minutes. Yes, great. And then how long does it take us to mash in the beer? It takes 30 minutes to get all the mash in. Yes, you're correct. And then what's the next step? Well, then we have to go for mash rest. And how long does that take? Well, it takes this long at this time, this long, this long.
Yeah.
And the brewmaster makes him talk through every single part of the brewing process. Every single part. Here's all the steps in the tun. Here's how long you boil it for. This is when you put the hops in. This is, how long it takes to transfer to the fermenter. How long does it ferment for? Like the whole thing.
Through packaging too? Okay.
And then he gets to, and then what do you? Oh, then we have to rack it to roux cellar. Yes, and how long does it sit in roux? Oh, it's for 2.5 weeks. 18 days in roux. Yeah, yes, that's great. And then what do you do? Well, then it goes through the filter, and how long does that take? Well, it takes 3 hours to go through the filter. And then what happens? Then it goes in the bright tank, and then what happens? Well, then you give it to me, and I put it in a bottle. Wrong! I give it to you, you fuck it up in under 1 minute.
That's awesome.
Packaging. So that was done by this kid from Philadelphia named Nosego.
Was it one of those things where it was looking cool as he was doing it, or it looked weird until like the last
Oh God, you
step?
had no idea what the hell was going on. Because the way like it layers in, like you're just like, I don't know what the fuck is happening here. And
Can we trust this guy? And then like the last day, it's like this.
Oh no, he did it in a day.
He did it in a day?
He did it in a day.
Good work, buddy.
It was insane. We really try to support artists, things we believe in here. Here, let me tell you how much the world's changed. All these barrels are mixed fermentation beer. All of them. But look at the dates. This is from 2018. This is 2017.
Man, you gonna check that out pretty soon, or still letting it ride?
The fill level's right there. It's insane. Just a lot of angel share right now.
Do you do many like barrel-aged stouts and things like that?
That's this one.
All right.
Anything that's labeled massive is barrel-aged barley wine. Empress, most premium Russian Imperial Stout.
Beautiful.
So there's a whole bunch of Imperial Stout here.
Oh, you got rum barrels going.
Yeah, this is all pipe wrench. So this is all gin barrel-aged IPA. This is marzipan beer aging in Nocino barrels. That over there is Scotch ale, some of it. So yeah, we do fair whack, and it's a random assortment of barrels too. So we tend to make large batches of those big beers and then barrel age them in different spirit barrels. Some of them work out great, some of them whatever. Someone may really like, and someone like me may not like.
Yeah.
That's okay. There's
No
nothing
different
wrong.
tastes.
Yeah.
Bring it all on.
Yeah, exactly. There's no wrong with that. We literally got these today. If you were to sit in that, Kenny, you'd be the first person to sit there.
Really?
Do it. Do
Do
it.
it.
Do it. Kenny, do it. History has been made.
All right.
We gotta taste some beer, huh?
Yeah. Time for beer.
Originally, it was just Van and I. We did everything, of course, and
Yeah.
then slowly, added Scott, and then, grew the brewery over time.
I've had your beers in the past. That's
Oh,
a
cool.
lot of the reason that we're here.
Oh, nice.
It's like 80 odd breweries in Portland and could only
Yeah.
choose one or two. So
Yeah.
glad you guys are it, to be
Cool.
honest.
Yeah,
So,
thanks for coming by.
yeah, thanks again for having us. Want to introduce yourself to the world?
Yeah.
Ken?
Which camera? Any one of them?
Pick your favorite.
All right. Wow. I think this one's right next to me. So as long as it's not too close. Hello, I am Ben Love, the brewmaster here at Gigantic Brewing.
All right. Good to meet you, Ben.
The Kolsch on the top left there. So our
Okay.
Kolsch-tastic. It's got great hop aroma, good hop flavor, nice bitterness. It's
Yeah.
dry.
I've been appreciating Kolsch's more and more.
Mm-hmm.
I think the more and more that I drink, like the more I have to drink across the board and not just Imperial Stouts all day, every day. So Kolsch is one of those styles that I've been over the last couple years, and this is just exactly where I want one to be.
Cool,
So
thanks.
yeah, crisp, nice.
So next up, modeled after a Corpse Survivor cocktail. So it's
Oh,
a
wow.
golden ale that's aged in ransom old time gin barrels. We put oranges and lemons into the barrel to age with it. And then we also add gentian root to the beer in the hop back, which gentian root is something, it's part of making tonic water.
That is
so it
nice.
adds that kind of like herbal bitterness, sort of.
Yeah, it's definitely
but-
got a cocktail kind of vibe.
Yeah, it tastes like a cocktail, right? You can put it on
Still
ice.
beer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Could do that.
Nice flavor, nice balance.
It works. That's for sure.
Next up, probably the Sassy Pony.
Sassy Pony, great name. Nice.
A little girl named that beer.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm not shocked.
Yeah, not surprising, right? Yeah.
It does taste more like a pale, but it's got that really nice hoppy aroma.
Yeah, it's got a nice intense hoppy aroma and flavor.
Citrusy.
Yeah, Citra and Simcoe.
Yep, that's a go-to for a lot of people,
Right?
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then plus you can just keep going to the bar like, another Sassy Pony over here.
Exactly. Yeah, totally, yeah. Blow Clouds, that's one of our hazy IPAs. Yeah. Well,
Oh,
it's actually,
That does something a little different. I like that.
yeah.
It's like a, I don't know, like a dragon fruit kind of vibe or something in
yeah.
there. Like melon. That's great. Got this rounded off, like tropical fruit kind of thing going on.
Honestly, all of our hazy beers, not all of them, most of them have cloud in the name. We just kind of continued that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you stick,
good name.
once you land on something.
Yeah, like this is the Cloud
Maybe it can be
series.
difficult, so it makes it a whole lot easier when you land on something like that.
Creativity comes from constraints, you know? So if you constrain yourself within the cloud, if you have too many options, like, I don't know.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Yeah, exactly. Why don't you go Pipe Wrench next? Let's do that. So, Pipe Wrench, it's Gigantic IPA aged in ransom old time gin barrels. Dry hop it, do everything normal with the beer before we put it in the barrels, and then we dry hop it a second time right before packaging it to bring that hop aroma back up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that is clean and clear. I thought I was gonna get smacked with one of those flavors more so than others, but they all
Yeah.
blend together real nice.
We had the opportunity to get gin barrels, and Van was like, there's a drop shot, like a Boilermaker, but it's called a Pipe Wrench, and it's where you drop a shot of gin in an IPA. And
Did
it
he
hits
make
you in
that
the head
up,
like
or-
a fucking Pipe Wrench.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I have not heard that before, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna start spreading that around.
Yeah.
So it's got like some of the throwback IPA flavors that
Right,
you're
yeah.
looking for. It's like,
Yeah, totally. It's a little maltier, and part of
Yeah.
it too, I think,
Little dank.
honestly, it's
Yeah.
the oxidation because it was aged in barrels.
Oh,
And so you
okay.
get a little bit of that oxidative characteristic.
Well, in this case, it
But
works.
it works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is our LP stout, long play stout. So it's it's
Smell the
oatmeal
roastiness.
stout.
Just,
Yes,
like, makes me happy
exactly.
right
Nice and
away.
Rich, nitro.
Oh yeah, the head on there is just perfect. You know happiness is about to occur. Yes. Yeah. It's all smoothness, roastiness, a little bit of sweetness in there.
Yeah, a little caramel sweetness.
Yeah.
Van probably showed you the carbonator that we have when he was showing you the
Yeah.
bottling line.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what's one of the great things about that is that it makes awesome nitro beers because we can plug the CO2 in, or we can plug in beer gas,
Yeah.
which is like 75% nitrogen, 25% CO2, and it nitrogenates the beer, so you get like the perfect Guinness pour basically.
Oh, wow.
And it happens instantaneously as it's going to the keg or the bottle. And
That is so cool.
yeah, it works out great. I mean, back in the day when I worked at other breweries and we tried to do like nitro beers, you basically
Yeah.
did like a keg at a time.
Huh.
Because you have to crank it way up and it takes a reasonable amount of time and everything. And then the results were never as good as this with that like perfect head. And like when you pour the beer, then it totally just like cascades like Guinness does.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, thanks for pouring these beers.
Yeah, happy to.
You got any other like crazy weirdo beers you want to share? Or?
Yeah, let me go take a look.
I've seen quite a few from you guys.
Yeah, right.
All right. Round two. Fight.
The beer on your left is it's a collaboration we did with Boneyard Brewing from Bend.
Oh yeah, great
With
brewery.
Tony. Yeah.
Yeah,
great beer.
their Venom is a Bend classic.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So this beer smells and tastes like an IPA, but has a really low amount of hops for an IPA. We fermented the beer with Kvike yeast, which is Norwegian yeast. Yeah, you've probably been having beers all around town with that. So it's got that orangey citrusness, and then we
Yeah.
added tangerine puree on top of that as well to boost that citrus aroma and flavor.
That's great.
So yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
Basically, like tastes like a cup of juice, right?
There's definitely some champagne like fizziness in there.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, we carbonated a little bit higher.
Kvike is sort of like an auto order for me. If I'm in a brew, I'm like, I gotta get the Kvike thing. Like, what
Yeah.
are they doing with it? There's a lot of strains of it too.
There are, yeah, totally.
I got a buddy, Craft Advisory Brewery, shout out in Mississippi, and he's almost all Kvike yeast except for
Oh, nice.
a few things here and there.
That's cool.
The turnover's real quick, and he's got a lot of strains. He understands it better than anyone I know.
What's the name of the brewery?
Craft Advisory.
Craft Advisory.
It's actually in Ocean Springs.
Oh,
Ocean
okay.
Springs, Mississippi.
Okay, yeah. Next beer here is our Fantastic Voyage, which is a Brett Saison.
Okay.
That this one's been dry hopped with Mandarina Bavaria hops.
I like the way it smells.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Tropical, and then it's got a nice acidity to it as well, which
Yeah.
definitely it makes it thirst quenching, but also makes you want to have another drink too. So,
Yeah. This is a goer, for sure.
Right?
It doesn't taste anything like a pretzel, but it does what a pretzel does, and this makes you want more sips. It's like, it's dry, it's fresh. It's got enough of like a fruity ting to it. The yeast esters give it that, I'm sure that's the Saison, Saison yeast.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's Saison yeast and 2 Brettanomyces strains.
Another winner.
Thanks.
Man, you guys are great.
And then, last, you're asked for something kind of crazy. This is the Sierra del Stout,
Okay.
and it is a Mexican hot chocolate stout.
Alrighty. Appreciate that. Smells great. Cheers.
Cheers. I never understood that. What is the tapping on the bar? I know everybody does it. I just never
Do they? I
understood
think
why
it's-
they do it.
I-
What are the rules? I've seen it done, but I don't know why.
I think it's a New York City thing. I didn't
Okay.
do it until I moved to New York City.
Okay, yeah.
It's just standard.
Yeah, I
So-
cheers with some guys last night, and one of them did that, and I was like, yeah.
Next time someone does it, ask them if
Ask
they're
why.
from the East Coast or not. But that's what that is. That's beer like Grandma used to make. Mi abuela, es muy bueno.
Yeah. So big imperial stout.
Yeah.
It's got chilies, a couple different chilies in it. We have vanilla beans in it.
Yeah.
It has cinnamon in it.
It all blends together.
Yeah, it all
There's
blends together really
no
nicely.
mistakes, you know.
Thanks. The heat is it's like right at the right level, I think. Not too hot, but not too mild either.
It fits with the carbonation, even like they play together well. Yeah, that's pretty delicious. And this is a one-off
This
as
is
well? or-
well, you know, this is a one-off. I think we'll probably do it again.
Yeah,
because
sure.
we're all enjoying it so much.
Yeah.
That's what usually happens. We're always like, it used to always be like they were one-offs for the first 5 years of the brewery.
Yeah.
Like we did IPA, everything else was a one-off. Nothing ever came back. You know, we're like, no, we do not repeat things. We would put all of our recipes online because we were like, if you like that beer so much, brew it
Go
yourself.
brew it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally.
I dig that. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like 5 years into it, we were like, you know, there's some really good beers that we made, and like we'd like to drink them again. And we got customers that are asking for them.
Yeah.
And so it's like, why don't we? Yeah, let's start making these beers again. And so it's kind of we come out with new things, but we're bringing back old things now too as well. So
See, this is the kind of beer when a few days ago it was like 115 degrees. This is what I want because I am a psychopath.
yeah, right. Yeah, that seems great.
That would be great. I just need to cool down in this heat. Have some spicy beer. Wow, phenomenal. Well, thanks for sharing all your beers.
Totally, yeah.
Your time,
Yeah, thanks for
everything.
coming by.
Yeah, it's been great. And Portland, fantastic beer city, and you guys are at the top tier of making beer.
Thanks, man.
It's pretty incredible. All right, thanks, man.
Cheers.
Appreciate it. There's a new wrinkle in this whole situation. I woke up this morning and Nick was gone. He's catching a flight to Chicago, going back home. Got a little upset last night. Just been criticizing him a little bit about getting more footage and using the camera better, and he didn't like that. Got upset and decided to leave. That's when I woke up. Yeah, he was just gone. Took the main camera with him. Interesting development, but there's still more breweries to film at. Pono Brewing making a special beer for us, and we're gonna do a whole day of walking around Portland and going to as many breweries as possible on foot. Still gonna work out. Made some other arrangements. Got more cameras, more microphones, and we are good to go. Just without old Nick. Unfortunate, but happy days are here to stay. And we're in Portland. It's beautiful. So, gonna go eat some donuts, kick it, and have a good old time. Probably some beer involved too. Alrighty.
Cause Mary is the woman that we love. When Mary holds your hand, you feel so grand. Your heart starts beating like a big brass band. Boom, 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 boom.
You tell him, dude. You tell him.